Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Mohn.
Thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. I am your host, Monique Owe, and I am joined by my lovely co-host here,
Dr. Amber Mohn.
Okay, so today's topic is living in the moment. Well, if I can say living in the moment, that means, of course, let's just live for right now. Let's enjoy it. Let's be excited about it. Let's not be worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen later. Let's probably let go of what happened yesterday, but let's focus on what's going on right now. That is what I would say living in the moment is. But Dr. Mohn, what do you think living in the moment means?
Living in the moment means, to me, rewarding yourself. Being, grateful for the things that you have. Happiness. That's, what it means to me. And I feel like a lot of times, we miss that. So that's what I would say, Monique.
Okay. So thank you, Dr. Mohn, for that explanation. So I think the issue is right here. Okay. So why is this important? I think the struggle is people have an issue with living in the moment. We're so stressed about life and other things going on and how we're going to pay that bill, how we're going to take care of that issue, how we're going to finish school, how am I going to get through my day at work. We're so focused on that we forget to live and enjoy the experiences of life, right? We're focused on every problem, but we don't focus on every moment of joy, right? Like, enjoy life, like Dr. Mohn said, be happy, right? Like, there's little things that are always happening around us that we can enjoy. We can live in that moment, right? We can experience it and be happy to experience it and not worry about, what about this? And what if I fall? And what if I cut myself? And what if the flight gets delayed? And it didn't happen yet. Enjoy the fact that you're about to take a trip, right? Dr. Mohn, like if I can ask you, right? Let's say someone's planning a vacation.
Yes.
And we know things can go wrong, right? We know flights can get delayed, right? Dr. Mohn, you and I were talking about this, right? They are being delayed, especially now. We know transportation issues can occur on your way to the airport. We know that it could be raining that day, but what about focusing on the vacation, Dr. Mohn, that the fact that you're going to enjoy yourself, focusing on the fun part. Right. That's why you were going on vacation. Dr. Mohn, how come people can't live in the moment? Why is it so hard when it's something good happening?
You know what? These last 3 years have been so crazy, and it seems like more negative things are going on around us than positive. And I think that we start focusing on the negatives. What's going on? What don't we have? Gas and food, and it's so many negative things going on around us. It's like we can't see the positives. That's what I'm going to say. But this is a lesson, and I'm glad we're talking about it. This is a lesson that I've learned recently, is to live more in the moment. Because not just with that, I know there are a lot of hardworking people out here, professionals, who, only reward themselves maybe in the summer or, because we're so focused on, rewarding our kids, taking care of our bills, doing all the responsible things. And so sometimes we wait and say, okay, well, you know what? We're going to go on this trip in August, and that's going to be my reward. And like you said, August comes, COVID hits, or August comes and we miss our flight, or whatever happens. And then all this stress comes down on you. But if we were rewarding ourselves and enjoying the moments from December all the way to August, then I don't believe, and this is just my opinion, that it would be so that bad, that stressful that we missed our flight. Right. Like, okay, well, let's just go ahead and see, when the next one is.
Right.
I don't know. I'm right. Off, but,
No, that's true. That makes sense. I think, what happens, sometimes people feel guilty to live in the moment. Like, so Dr. Mohn mentioned all the negatives going on, right? Life always has something wrong that can happen. We know that. If you turn on the news, you're going to see something that's not so pleasing to see. That's always, right? That's always been the case. But recently we had a pandemic, right? And that really just turned many things upside down for a lot of people. And because of all that, and because it's changed how so many things have had to operate, that has been our focus, right? That has been in the forefront because you're always reminded of it. But the thing is, besides that, I think people feel guilty about actually doing something for themselves rewarding themselves for whatever reason. It's like we feel like we're always supposed to be taking the back seat many times. Now, hold on. I'll give a little segue. Some people are good with, no, it's all about me. I'm going to do what I want to do for me. Forget y'all. If you suffering, it's on you, but I'm not. Some people are very good with that, sometimes to a fault. But I do admire those people who can just like, you know what, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to live my life. You want to stay stressing out, do you? But I'm going to live life. But let's go back to people who on average, well, I can't do that. I can't buy that dress. That's too expensive. I can't buy that suit. Tailor, well, no, I'll just go get a suit from here. Get it a custom made suit? Nah, why am I going to do that? That type of car? No, I don't need that. That type of hotel? Nah, I can be over here. People feel guilty about spending money on themselves. Like they feel guilty about rewarding themselves. And I'm going to ask, why is that? Why do you feel guilty taking the money that you have worked hard for, saved up? Why do people feel guilty, Dr. Mohn, about actually doing something for themselves?
You know, I believe that there's so many reasons, but I'll use myself for an example. You just get so used to, doing for others, that you forget how important it is to do for yourself. It starts making you feel good to do for others. Like, once I had kids, it was over for me. My reward was making sure that they were taken care of. So, buying them the latest tennis shoes or buying whatever it is they wanted, made me feel good. So I thought, and I honestly know it does make me feel good, and it did, but it's not enough anymore. I'm to the point where, I'm a trip person. So, I need to go on my trips, but COVID has totally changed that, and so I've gotten more and more stressed, and I didn't even understand until recently why. It's because I haven't been able to go anywhere. And that was my reward. But what I've learned too is that I deserve many rewards.
You do.
I deserve sometimes to buy myself things.
Yes.
So
you do.
I'm just going to speak for myself because there are so many reasons as to why people feel guilty. Yeah.
I think here's the thing. I hope you should continue to reward yourself, Dr. Mohn. I hope everyone listening will understand that you do deserve to reward yourself because you do work hard. Yes, you are a loving parent if you are a parent. Yes, you are a loving child for your parents if you're an adult, taking care of your parents now, maybe. Yes, you may be big sis, big brother, whoever, and need to help out. But at the same time, you need a little something for yourself too. So don't feel guilty about spending $100 or $200 on a massage. You should. Don't feel guilty if you went out and got something to eat and didn't tell anybody and you ate it in the car, right?
Came home like nothing was wrong.
Nothing was wrong. And I think that is okay because you have done a lot for others and you are always doing something for others. And especially if you're a parent, you have sacrificed a lot for your children. I don't think there's a parent out there who will say, good parent, right? And what I mean, let me be clear about good and bad parenting. When I say bad parenting, I mean someone who abuses their children, who has never been there. Putting you in that category of bad parent. A parent that makes mistakes, no, that's not you. Everybody makes mistakes. But I'm saying when you are a good parent trying to do your best, you're going to make sacrifices for your child. You already know that. You went a time where you didn't have any shoes or good shoes and you spent your last on some shoes for your children or some clothes for your children so they can go to school. You know that, right? School supplies, all those things. So who said that you can't today go ahead and spend $200 on dinner for yourself? Or if you're a woman who likes handbags, who said you can't spend a couple $1,000 on that handbag if you want it, right? If that's not your thing, who said that you can't buy the luxury car if that's your treat for yourself and not feel bad about it because you have been sacrificing probably for a very long time. So don't feel guilty about living in the moment. I think here's the thing, the martyr or something like that, like everybody else is okay. They can do it, but not me. I sometimes I'm going to say, who told you that? Who told you had to be the one to sacrifice everything for everyone else? Now, could that be upbringing? I think, Dr. Mohn, let me ask you, is that sometimes related to somebody's upbringing where they feel like everyone else should go first except them?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely is.
Sometimes your parents can have that, make you think that way. Sometimes some friends may have caused you to think that way. Especially if you are a talented person, or if you were a person, let's say you're very beautiful and you always were told that, and you've never been arrogant about it, but people just said it. The moment people say, wow, you're gorgeous, you're so handsome, you really are attractive, and you always heard that, right? Because of the jealousy that comes with that, sometimes you feel like you gotta dumb yourself down and you can't be who you are. So anytime it comes up to doing something for yourself now, you just feel like, no, it's okay, everybody else can do it. And you don't live in that moment. You don't enjoy life. You feel like, no, it's about just working hard and one day I'll retire and enjoy myself. And who told you that? Because guess what? Everybody doesn't make it to retirement. Some people pass away before retirement. Sometimes tragic events happen. And you're sitting there wondering, why did I not enjoy my life? Well, you should live in the moment. Meaning, like, focus on right now. If you want to go out tonight, go out. If you got a bill, the bill it'll get done. It'll get paid. Enjoy yourself. If you have $20 and you can could probably buy something I really wanted to eat, or I could put $20 towards this expensive credit card bill I was trying to pay down. Guess what? Go buy yourself something that you want to eat every now and again. We're not talking about splurging. We're talking about living in the moment, right, Dr. Mohn?
Yes.
What are some examples of living in the moment? Like, is it travel, you said?
Yeah, travel.
Is it a spa day for a woman, maybe? Well, whoever. I'm not going to generalize it. Spa days?
Yes. Buying a new shirt. Getting some perfume.
Ooh,
like
love
you said.
It. Yes.
Simple things.
Simple things.
Buying a book and going to the park and turning your phone off and just, taking your mind off of all those things. All of those things, Monique, are living in the moment. It's not all about, money. It's about just doing what makes you happy, whatever that is. You deserve it. And you need to know that you deserve it.
Hair appointments?
Yes.
Right? Doing your hair?
Yes.
Not feeling bad if the price tag is a little high. You should do that. I think going out to eat is something that might be pleasurable to you. I remember someone told me years ago, they said every time they get paid, they at least buy themselves something. And I thought that was a good philosophy to have. It doesn't have to be anything too expensive all the time. They said every time I get paid, I buy something for myself. And get into the habit of buying a new shirt, like Dr. Mohn said, a new dress every time, new pair of pants, new hat, new shades for yourself in the summer, right? New necklace. Do that. Like Dr. Mohn said, it makes you feel good, right? Don't do it for the house now. Here's the thing. Well, if you just purchase the home, I get it. But buying a pillow, a throw pillow, or something for the house, a frame, I don't know if that's doing something for yourself. It just depends. Do something for you. That's just for you. Mean like only you can use it, can benefit from it. Okay? So that's what we mean by living in the moment. Stop focusing on all the problems, because the problem's going to be there. They're not going anywhere. And not right now. I mean, put it this way, that pandemic, it took a while and it's still kind of going on. So you sacrificing that one trip, is that solving the pandemic? Probably not. It's not. So go ahead and enjoy yourself. So before we go into how you can focus on living in the moment and not worrying about what may come if you don't live in the moment, or if you do, let's go ahead and make a segue here. Let's go into, you guessed it, the situation. Dr. Mohn, what's our situation for today?
All right. Thank you, Monique. Okay, here we go. Dear Healing Podcast, I'm not writing about myself. I just need an opinion for a coworker who was like a pretty cool work friend of mine. This is a paraphrase, but here's what happened. My coworker has a best friend. The best friend is set to get married in the next few months. While they were all at a recent gathering, they were talking about relationships. Mainly my coworker was talking about the struggles as a single person nowadays. While they were there, the fiancé had a few drinks. They were not intoxicated, but I guess you can say they were a little tipsy. While my coworker's best friend was away from the table, the fiancé made a comment to my coworker. The fiancé sort of nonchalantly said something like, if they had met them years ago, they would have pursued them. This comment from the fiancé has been bothering my coworker. My coworker feels they should tell their best friend what the fiancé said. I told my coworker that I don't think they should, do that and not to make a big deal out of it. What do you think about what the fiancé said to the coworker? Should my coworker tell their best friend? Wow, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing. So, to answer your question, I think that the coworker should not say anything.
It's the best friend. I think you're saying the best friend.
I don't think the best friend should
say anything to their friend about what the fiancé said. That's what you mean?
Okay. So I don't think that the best friend should say anything to the fiancé about. So
let's see. So I'll take it. I think what's going on here is this must be a situation dear to Dr. Mohn's heart. That's what's going on here. No, I'm just joking. So I think the situation is, to clarify, Dr. I think what's going on here is the coworker is the one who wrote us, but the situation is their work friend is talking about what happened in their life. Like their work friend, their coworker has a best friend who's about to get married, and the best friend's fiance apparently made a comment to her or to them saying, if I had met you first, I would have pursued you. And the best friend is feeling like, I should tell the one that's about to get married. Like, I'm going to tell my friend that your fiance just told me he would have pursued me if he met me first. The coworker has nothing to do with it. She's just writing to get an opinion. Right. So I think, so if we can ask you, Dr. Mohn, should the best friend tell her friend, hey, your fiance told me he would have pursued me first?
Yes. I don't think that they should. I don't think that I do think that it was inappropriate. And I think that, maybe they should have said something when it was said. I think that, the coworker should have said something, but they didn't. So I don't believe that it's that serious enough to possibly, ruin or cause some more issues. I think that the eyes should be open, ears should be open moving forward. That if more comments are said, then I think that, something should be said. But this one comment, I don't think that it's deep enough to start thinking.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I think what you have to understand here is, if I'm looking at the situation that was written, I think it was said that they were all drinking or something. And we know when you start drinking, sometimes you get a little tipsy. People believe that once you get tipsy, the truth starts to come out. I don't know if that's always the case. I just think you get loose and you're not really thinking. And I think what the fiance said was, he said, if I would have met you first, I would have, because the topic in him was about relationships.
Yes.
The friend that's single was saying, it's hard out here. I'm assuming she said, it's hard out here as a single person right now. It's not really a good scene. The friend that's about to get married, of course, she's about to get married. So the fiance made a comment, well, I would have pursued you if I would have met you first. Okay. The fiance could have meant it as a compliment, like, don't feel like it's something wrong with you. I would have pursued you, like, you're worth pursuing. Don't beat yourself up. He could have meant it that way. Now, people may consider that fact that he didn't say the comment until the fiance walked away. Here's the thing. It was a comment. He didn't say, let's get together. He didn't say, I kind of want to start texting you. He didn't say, I want to pursue you right now. He said, if I would have, then I would have. So I think I'm going to take it at face value. He said I would have. He didn't. He met your best friend. He met the best friend. So it is what it is. They're about to get married in a couple months, it seems like. I think it seems like end of this year, right?
Yes.
I don't think the comment is worth causing an argument between those two. I think you should, the friend, be mindful. If he says something disrespectful again, that you feel disrespectful, you can address it like, hey, don't approach me like that again. And if he does, then yeah, you might need to talk to your friend. I don't think it's worth stirring the pot there. I think it's just worth, look at what was going on. You all were drinking. You were talking about relationships. That was the topic at hand. So it wasn't kind of random. It was kind of the topic at hand. He made a comment and it was done for. You didn't say anything about he keeps flirting with you. He's always looked at you. You didn't say anything like that. And I don't even know how often you see your best friend, because we're all adults. So do we get to see our best friends every day anymore? I doubt it. So I don't know how often you would even run into your best friend's soon to be husband. So I think just use it as an eye opener. So for the coworker who wrote in, thank you for writing in. I agree with you. I don't think it's worth saying anything. Hopefully that helps. And I hope they have a wonderful marriage. And it's just one of those things. I mean, everybody's human. All right. So thank you again for writing into the Healing Podcast. If you want to send in your situation, make sure you go ahead and email support@thehealingpodcast.com, or you can go to thehealingpodcast.com and click on the contact tab and you can submit your situation that way. We also have to highlight our sponsor, which is healingexpressionsllc.com. If you're interested in therapeutic services or need some therapeutic services and you're in the Atlanta or Georgia area, go ahead and go to healingexpressionsllc.com and see if you can book a session. All right, so going back to the topic at hand, which is living in the moment. So, Dr. Mohn, we talk about why people don't live in the moment. We said they have guilt or other things going on, so they feel like there's so much negativity, I just can't. I shouldn't be living in the moment. But why is it, if I can say, I don't know if we covered, why is it important to have those happy moments, to do things for ourselves, to stay focused on right now? Why is that important?
Good question, Monique. You know what? If these past few years have not shown us that we don't know the time or the day,
Yes.
We have to appreciate every moment we have on this earth, because we don't know, making memories is so important to me and my family now, just, based on these last years. I mean, these last couple years, we don't know how much time we have. And so spending most of our time worrying about things that will, what it's going to be, it's going to be. All we can do is do our best, pay our bills, try to, save on, food and gas and things of that nature. But my thing is that, where do we place our happiness? How important is our happiness? And just spending time with our families and our loved ones and just enjoying what we have, enjoying just simple things, breathing, being healthy, being able to get up every day. Those things are really honestly being lost.
Yeah, it's true. I think, yes, this pandemic was a reminder. It's not a guarantee. You can be young, full of life, and next thing you know, a tragedy happens and you're not here anymore. And that is why you have to focus on right now. The thing is, you want to stay living in the moment, because what happens next is not guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in the future. Anything can happen, whether it's in your control or not, right? So if that thing happens that knocks everything else out of whack, wouldn't you have rather enjoyed that time that you had? So right now, live for right now. Yes, you have to make plans for the future. No one's telling you to be reckless out here. Plan for the future. Save your money, as Dr. Mohn said, but don't be so rigid. Oh, I can't do this. Or I can't call out of work because I got so much work to do. And then I'm going to be, then they're going to look at me funny. Guess what? You better enjoy yourself and not be worried about work, and make sure you take care of your health, because you know what? You will end up making yourself sick if you don't do that. So stay focused on today. Calling out of work one day is not going to hurt anything. Oh, everything's going to crumble. No, it's not. I promise you it's not. Get back to work the next day and fix it. But enjoy that day. Enjoy today. Enjoy that cup of coffee. Go get that milkshake if you can tolerate it. Go get that smoothie. Go get that favorite meal. Go sit down outside. Go to the concert. Go on a trip. Forget the flight. Go ahead. Go on a trip. Enjoy yourself. Get the first class ticket if you can get it. Get it. Why not? Enjoy that. If everybody out there, everybody at one point in your life should fly first class. Just letting you know that.
I agree.
Okay? One time. Now, sometimes you get a nice little upgrade. They say because of the inconvenience, we're going to put you in first class. That might have been your experience. That was my first experience in first class. I was in college. They had messed up a lot of times. Flight attendant said, you know what? You've gone through so much. Let me just put you in this first class. Nice experience. That's what I'm saying. But if you can, stuff like that, enjoy that. Get the luxury hotel. Get the penthouse if you can afford it. Or maybe say the suite. I don't know about the penthouse. But what I'm saying is go ahead and enjoy it. Oh, well, the money will come back. Stop beating yourself up. So why should you live in a moment? Because it'll help you live life, and you won't make yourself sick, and you won't live in regret, and you won't feel like I missed out on some things. You will have felt like I lived my life to the fullest. And if you happen to get ill or something like that, where you have an illness where now you can't do anything and you're in hospice, you won't feel like I missed out on every joyful opportunity because I was always preparing for the future and I didn't have any guarantees of it. You will feel like you lived a fulfilled life because you focused on what was happening right now. You can control what's happening right now. You cannot control what's happening an hour from now. You can plan for it, but it's not a guarantee. So yes, focus on right now. Dr. Mohn, let's look into how can a person do those things? Let's see, they can take a moment, right? Take a pause. Look at what's going on. If you going on this trip, will it really break the bank completely? Dr. Mohn, will that chocolate ice cream really throw everything off whack? Depending.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Will that handbag destroy everything in your life if you buy it?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. So basically, take a pause, look at what's going on. Realize that you do deserve some happiness and some moments of happiness. Everything can't be about everybody else. You are a person too. You are included in that. You are included in that happiness. Your children, your spouse, your family, your brother, your mother, your father, your aunt, your uncle. You as well including in that equation. Just do. Don't worry about it. Just do. Figure it out when you get there. Okay? That's what I would say. Dr. Mohn, anything else about living in the moment that you can think of?
No.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the Healing Podcast, everyone. We appreciate your support. Let me go ahead and leave you with something. Life is way too short to spend another day at war with yourself. That is our episode for today. We thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.